Coming up on today's show, a 2019 Chevrolet Bolt EV, whose owners say had received a temporary battery recall software update, catches fire and does nearly $250,000 worth of damage. Energica's CEO hints that ultra-fast 15-minute rapid charging is coming to its motorcycles soon, and Kia officially opens the order books in Europe for its EV6 electric car, and demand is already super high. These stories and more coming next. Welcome back to TEN, Transport Evolved News. We've been busy reviewing the Volkswagen ID.4 this week, and this week really has just flown by. What about yours? This show is sponsored by the Electric Auto Association. Stick around until the end of the show to find out how joining the EAA can help you finance your own clean energy or transportation purchase. Last summer, Chevrolet pushed out an emergency update to restrict maximum state of charge on all 2017 through 2019 Bolt EVs after a handful of fires involving the car at or near a full state of charge. In last week's show, we told you that Chevy had pushed a final resolution for this problem for 2019 model year Bolts. But over the past weekend, a Chevrolet Bolt EV in Asheville, Virginia caught fire and caused nearly $250,000 worth of damage to its owner's property. We've been waiting on official cause of the fire being publicly released, but early on Friday morning, Electric published an interview with the car's owner. He claimed the temporary software update from last year had been applied to his car, but the fix from last week hadn't yet been applied. He said it wasn't charging at the time of the fire and had about a 70% state of charge. While the car hasn't been released to Chevrolet yet for examination, this latest piece of news is extremely disturbing to hear. Until a formal announcement is made on the fire, we are personally advocating you don't charge or park your Bolt EV inside or close to buildings. Chinese company NIO has officially announced its market entry into Norway at a special press conference in the nation this week, making it the first country outside of China where NIO will establish a full ecosystem of sales and service. NIO says that the ES8 will be the first of its cars to go on sale in Norway, with the ET7 following in 2022. In September next year, NIO says it will also open its first delivery and service centre in Oslo, offering mobile service and car pickup and delivery services. In addition, the company says it will establish its own charging and swapping network for customers in Norway, with 4 NIO PowerSwap battery stations active by the end of 2022. As in China, NIO will launch its lifestyle brand NIO Life in Norway for local customers. It will collaborate with 2 Norwegian artists in the process. Between 1993 and 2004, Ford produced a high-performance version of its F-150 pickup truck, which it called the F-150 Lightning. And this week, Car and Driver claim that name is coming back, this time attached to Ford's upcoming Ola Electric F-150. While Ford hasn't confirmed the naming convention, it's already known that the electric F-150 being developed by the company and due to launch later this year is going to have more torque and more horsepower than any F-150 to date. The other reason we think this rumour is likely true, though, is that Ford has already used past performance brands, namely the Mustang moniker, for its all-electric performance crossover. So far, that's worked great, so there's no reason why Ford wouldn't want to repeat this success. Another highly publicised crash occurred this week involving a Tesla Model 3 crashing into an overturned semi in Fontana, California, sadly killing the driver. While I should state that there's no official statement on the accident yet, early indications from social media accounts that likely belonged to the deceased suggest that he may have not fully understood the difference between autopilot and full self-driving beta, while unofficial reports claim he was not part of the FSD beta program. It comes in the same week as multiple sightings of a brand new Tesla with a temporary plate driving down the freeway in San Francisco with the owner in the rear seat and nobody at the wheel. I know that you all know this, but remember, Tesla will be the first to say that autopilot is not autonomous, and in our opinion, anyone who treats it as such deserves their car and their license to be taken away. The town council in Normal, Illinois, where Rivian's production facility is located, have conditionally approved an amended site plan to expand the automaker's factory. In addition to just over 500,000 square feet expansion to the factory itself, The town council unanimously gave its approval for Rivian to add new structures adjacent to the factory, charging infrastructure, as well as a new entrance. With initial deliveries due to start next month, Rivian's expansion is great news for both the town and the company, but don't expect building work to begin there immediately. The 380 acres of land just acquired by Rivian in preparation for the expansion needs to be rezoned from agricultural to industrial. As usual, we'll let you know of any updates. The Ford Mustang Mach E has just been given a small price increase in the US, with all but the entry-level Mustang Mach E Select getting a $600 price bump. The reason for the hike? All new premium, first edition, premium standard range, or California Route 1 extended range Mach-Es will get bluecruise hands-free driving from the factory. So too will Mach-E Selects with the Comfort Tech package spec'd. While it's never good to see price rise, the bluecruise is only currently operational on 100,000 miles of US roads, but it's also a lot cheaper than many of the hands-off and semi-autonomous driver packages offered by other companies. If you've been paying attention to Tesla's quarterly financial reports, you'll know that it regularly earns a decent chunk of change for selling its excess regulatory electric car credits and carbon credits to legacy automakers who haven't been producing enough electric cars to meet tightening ZEV mandates on their own. One such legacy automaker has been Fiat, which has been paying Tesla for its regulatory credits for a while now. But that's about to change thanks to the recent merger that saw FCA join with Peugeot, Citroen and Opel to form Stellantis. With Peugeot, Citroen and Opel brands already producing high numbers of plug-ins, there's no need for the company to buy credits from Tesla to meet European CO2 goals. And as announced this week by Stellantis CSO, that means no more easy money for Tesla from Fiat. Shortly after it officially opened order books for the EQA electric car in February, Mercedes-Benz has just announced it's bringing two new variants to market in Europe. The first, the EQA 300-4MATIC, offers all-wheel drive and 168 kilowatts of power at the wheels, while the EQA 350-4MATIC packs 250 kilowatts at the wheels. On paper, these models respectively offer up to 426 kilometers and 432 kilometers of range. That's 264 and 268 miles per charge. A longer-range version is apparently coming later this year. Priced below the German government cutoff for EV purchase incentives, both of these cars are likely to sell fairly well in Germany, but at €53,500 and €56,250, they're not cheap. When it comes to high-performance electric motorcycles, Italian company Energica is up there with Zero and Harley-Davidson. But while its range of electric motorcycles are incredible fun, you do have to stop for a half hour every few hours to recharge. That might be about to change, though, with the company's CEO telling Visor Down this week that lessons learned on the racetrack, combined with its large, energy-dense battery packs, means that rapid charging to 80% full in just 15 minutes is most certainly just around the corner for the brand. He didn't state when exactly we can expect such technology to become standard in its bikes, but given that's just enough time to visit the loo and grab a coffee, colour us very excited indeed. Kia has officially opened the factory order books for its brand new 2022 Kia EV6 electric car in Europe. Revealed earlier this year, the company says that it already has obtained 33,000 interested hand raisers for the car, of which 7,300 have already signed and made a deposit on a confirmed reservation. Given Kia isn't starting production of the EV6 until later this year, and first-year production runs of new cars are always a little smaller than they are in subsequent years, Kia says it believes it has enough customers for 300% of its original planned sales volume of the car in Europe for this year. Let's hope that production can be ramped up to meet demand. And now, it's time for short shorts. Citroen has announced a one-seat version of its Ami electric microcar, that's My Ami Cargo, which is optimized for delivery drivers and other people who need storage rather than the ability to carry a passenger. In a move that mimics the strategy of some low-volume automakers, America's Big Three are moving away from maintaining large stocks of available vehicles in inventory, as well as producing lower-cost vehicles with their correspondingly lower profit margins. Electrek reported a story claiming Tesla's chief designer took an Arcimoto FUV out for a spin this week. But according to Arcimoto, the person pictured in the story isn't who Electrek said it was. When pushed, Arcimoto's CEO didn't exactly deny the story's substance, however. Tesla is developing a digital data platform in China designed to allow owners of its vehicles in the country to access data generated by their own vehicles. Electrify America has initiated its third round of zero-emission vehicle infrastructure and education investment in California. It will bring the company three-quarters of the way to a planned $800 million investment from Dieselgate into the state. Norway is rather famous at this point for its embrace of electric vehicles, and as of this week, you can count another EV on its roads, with the first delivery of a Mustang Mach E to a Norwegian owner. Indian EV scooter manufacturer Ola Electric will be selling its yet-to-be-released electric scooters in Europe and other markets come 2022, with the brand's domestic launch planned for this summer. MCI, which builds high-end luxury motor coaches as part of the bus and coach manufacturer NFI Group, has unveiled its first electric model, which builds on the technology found in NFI's electric transit buses. Tesla reportedly spent just $3 purchasing patents for technology highlighted at its Battery Day event. Now, however, it looks like Tesla may in fact have gone all in and bought the company, Spring Power International. But with reporters' questions being referred to Tesla's non-existent PR department, it's really hard to say for certain. Volvo had its best April sales on record last month, and while only about 15% of those sales in the US came with a plug, in the state of California, nearly 1 out of every 2 cars sold by the brand was some sort of plug-in vehicle. Inside EVs did some digging into electric vehicle startup Alpha Motors, which is known for its clever renders and not much else. With few answers to be had, we here at Transport Evolved are apparently not the only ones questioning how real Alpha really is. An Autolist.com survey reported by Green Car Reports finds that range has become the #1 concern for EV buyers, displacing cost and charging infrastructure, which were at the top when the same study was done in 2019. Having produced one pilot vehicle already, Toyota is hinting that an electric version of its Australian Land Cruiser 70 Series vehicle could find its way to commercial production, and even consumer customers at some point in the foreseeable future. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicle startup Riversimple has opened a waitlist to gauge interest from the public for its vehicles and usage model, which emphasises a pay-to-use plan rather than outright vehicle ownership. A JD Power survey of electric vehicle mobile apps showed that EV owners were far more likely to use a mobile app than drivers of internal combustion engine vehicles. The survey found Kia, Ford and other manufacturers' apps led in features, while it put Tesla's app in response time and performance. Ford says that by 2025 it expects to be selling enough plug-in vehicles to justify producing its own battery cells, rather than buying them from outside vendors as it currently does. The Renault Megane Hatchback is now available as a plug-in hybrid, with 50 kilometres, 31 miles of electric range in combined driving. A new platform battery electric Megane has also recently been teased by the company. Renault has stated, as part of the company's New Wave branding overhaul, that it intends to be the greenest European automaker. It has plans to have 9 out of every 10 cars sold as being electrified by 2030. Electric vehicles tearing up things at the drag strip have become a familiar sight, and now the National Hot Rod Association is finally making it official, with the announcement that the NHRA is working to create official class standards for electric car drag racing. I'm sure that NHRA is finally happy. US President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have both recently toured and touted electric vehicle and energy storage startup Proterra. But with Biden's energy secretary holding significant investments in the company, it raises some serious conflict of interest concerns. Electric truck and bus manufacturer Lion Electric, known especially for its electric school buses, intends to begin construction of a new 900,000 square foot production facility in Joliet, Illinois. In the face of overwhelmingly positive responses to its idea for what the company calls an electromod version of its storied Manta coupe, Opel's CEO says a future production version might just be on the cards. Commercial vehicle giant MAN Truck and Bus has signed a letter of intent with EV startup Sono Motors to investigate incorporating Sono's vehicle-integrated solar panels with certain models of MAN's plug-in trucks. California's new clean vehicle roadmap sets concrete targets to get new car sales to 80% zero-emission vehicles by 2035 and includes significant electric range and performance standards for plug-in hybrids. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. There is no love lost between Elon Musk and his former employee Peter Rawlinson, especially since Peter is the CEO of Lucid Motors, a company that isn't directly competing with Tesla in the marketplace per se, but which has certainly been jostling with Tesla for performance spec supremacy. Peter Rawlinson was hired by Tesla in the early days to help Tesla engineer the Model S and, as he has recounted in several interviews, he essentially re-engineered the Model S from scratch. There are even a couple of videos on Tesla's site featuring Rawlinson talking through the car's engineering decisions, and at the time, Rawlinson was called Tesla's chief engineer on the company website. But this week, Musk again took to Twitter to claim Rawlinson was, quote, never chief engineer, adding that he was, quote, only ever responsible for body engineering on Model S. It's one thing to not like a former colleague, but revisionist history? That's going a bit far. And finally, for people who grew up in the 1980s during the golden age of rallying, the name Lancia Delta is bound to make you smile. From the truly bonkers B-Class Lancia Delta S4 through to the slightly more sensible Lancia Delta Integrale, there's rally heritage in every single first and second generation production Lancia Delta that was made. If, like me, you've transitioned to a life without fossil fuels, though, the Lancia Delta rally cars of old might not fit the bill. Except they might, thanks to World Rallycross outfit GCK. It's just unveiled a resto mod we really want, the Delta Evo-E. It replaces the original engine with a powerful electric motor, retaining the gearbox and all-wheel drive system for maximum rally fun, and just 36 examples are set to be made, plus an additional 11 more powerful Evo-E rallies. The cars will be available to buy wherever you are in the world, but I'm guessing the price is going to be pretty high. And on that note, we are done for the day. Before I go, I would like to thank the Electric Auto Association for sponsoring today's roundup. They have been advocating for electric vehicles since 1967, and they firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. The EAA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make your own switch to electric. It can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. And if you become a member, you'll gain access to a new clean energy and EV loan program set up between the EAA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. Find out more by heading to electricauto.org. We would all love it here if you would comment and subscribe to the channel, as well as consider supporting us using one of the links below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and there's a link below to our Discord chat room, which is completely free to join, so give it a go if you'd like. And don't forget to check out our swag store over at Redbubble. I'll be back next week, but until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, stay safe, and keep evolving.